quarantine room for keeping venomous snakes. We have two main areas where we keep our animals. We have one in a quarantine room that isn't being utilised at the moment, and our main room. Our main room is there, so it's a completely separate door to go to the main room versus going into quarantine. So basically, if you're going into quarantine, you're going to be separate from everything else. You're only going to quarantine at the end of the day. So there's a note here to say that's empty, so it means that we don't have to worry about coming in there at the moment. But think of glass panel inside the door so we can see what's going on, making sure if you need to get access in there, we know what's in there before we open the doors. So step inside, already unlocked it. So basically it's a big open space, not a lot of room, not a lot of things to get caught up with or anything like that. It's got its own sink, its own cleaning, bits and pieces, all that sort of stuff. It's got its own transport container, it's got its own housing for holding the specimens, and then basically we've got a rack in here. Inside that rack is housing for small venomous snakes, and then we've got a cage as well where we can utilise. There's also some cages up the top where we can utilise that for small geckos. Alright, extraction fans in a different location to any other extraction fans, that's blowing in a different direction. One single fluorescent light, skylight for day-night cycles, then it's got its own tools as well. So hooks, the tongs we use for feeding, not for actually handling the snakes, hoop bag frame, jigger, various hooks. Air conditioner with the reverse thermostat. Again, turned off at the moment. All this stuff's turned off because we're not actually using it in quarantine at the moment. So that's a quick look at the quarantine. What you'll notice is we've got a mesh covers all the sinks. Alright, so I've also inside the, not sure if you can see that, there's mesh in there as well in the overflow. The whole idea of that is to ensure that if something was to get out, you can't get out. The door itself, around the edges of the door, alright, there's a trim that the door shuts onto all the way around, okay, which ensures that the snake, anything that would happen to get out inside the room can't actually go outside the door, okay. So that's a quick thing in regards to our quarantine. Very, very small room, doesn't need a hell of a lot of space, doesn't need a hell of a lot of stuff in here, but everything we need to do what we need to do to keep these animals is in here. So we're not getting stuff from any other rooms or anything like that. Important that you keep your quarantine separate from your other collection. Obviously we run a 90-day quarantine in here for any new animals. You've got to remember though that if you get something new in that 90-day period and you bring something else into that quarantine period, everything in the room starts back at zero again. So that's one of the reasons why we've got that whiteboard on the outside of the door. So the minute that we have something come into the collection, it's written up onto the side there. It says this is date, and then we have a date saying that when the quarantine is finishing. So we don't put the date when quarantine begins, we put the date when quarantine finishes, and then at that point, that is when we go from there. Now, obviously what we do is we treat all these animals as being potentially carrying a virus. So what we do is we actually deal with these animals at the end of the day before we deal with any, after we've dealt with all the animals in the main collection. The whole idea of that is so that we're not going to be transmitting any pathogens across to our own animals in a normal collection, so to speak. Alright, so it's a safe management practice type installation. The other thing that should be remembered at all times is that if you find something's going wrong with one of the animals, whether you found parasites or whatever, that 90-day period again starts again. It's a restart. Each time it's a restart. So yeah. Alright, hope this has helped you guys out and you have a good day and go from there. Cheers, bye.